If you knew how easy it is to make peanut butter, and if you knew how good that peanut butter is, I bet you would never want to buy peanut butter again. I'll show you an easy way to make your peanut butter, and it will be the best you've ever tasted.
All I have not provided.
Peanuts make a great ground cover through the summer, and the bonus is the peanuts. And there's where they develop, underneath the ground. They're very easy to harvest. Just pick them right off. Once I picked the peanuts off the plants, I laid them out on this sheet in a spare bedroom so that they could cool and dry for 4 weeks. So you want them dried out quite a bit before you attempt to go on to the next step. Shelling it took me about 5 hours altogether, so I just split it up into 3 different sittings that kept my fingers from getting so sore. Now I don't know if you can tell here, but some of those peanuts are what I call duds. They're too little and they fry quicker than the bigger ones, and they'll give the peanut butter a burnt taste if you try to fry them at the same time. So I put them in a colander, shook all the dirt off the peanuts, and then the duds went to the bottom, so it just made it real easy to separate the good peanuts from the bad. And all that dirt just fell out of the bottom of the colander. Don't wash them. You don't want to be adding water to your peanuts. So all those peanuts made 1 quart of shelled peanuts, and that is going to make 1 pint of peanut butter. So I did test a couple of peanuts first to see how hot the oil is, and it should take between 2 and 3 minutes to fry up. If they go quicker, you stand a chance of burning. If they go slower or lower, it's just going to take longer. So what you're looking for here isn't the amount of time that you're frying them, it's the color of the peanuts. And I'm looking for a color that is not quite peanut butter color, because they will continue to cook even after you pull them out of the oil. So once they're ready, you really need to get them out of there as quickly as possible. Now peanuts can go from not done to burnt in just about 15 seconds. So you really need to keep a good eye on your peanuts. Don't crowd them. That's another thing. Only put enough to make about 1 layer of frying peanuts. And by the way, I did use peanut oil. I think that enhances the flavor the best. Using peanut oil for peanuts just makes sense to me. Okay, get them out of there quickly. And now we're ready for another batch. So according to the size of my pan, I divided these batches into 3. So we're just going to repeat that until they're all done. And those are not quite done. Go for a few more seconds. Keep checking. See? Just a few more seconds is all it took. Now you might notice those peanuts seem to be a little on the light side, but it's good. That's what we're looking for. Just a bit lighter than the peanut butter you would buy already made. Okay, notice how dark those peanuts are? Now you're wanting to drain off all the oil, and it's okay. Don't try to blot the oil off. See how dark they are? So just, let the slotted spoon drain off the oil for you. You don't have to be real careful. You don't want them to be dry. If you want crunchy peanut butter, save back some and chop them up separately and then add them at the end of making your peanut butter. Just stir them in at that point. So you see there's just a little bit of oil left at the bottom, but I still didn't want that extra 1 tablespoon of oil added. The oil that's on the peanuts is perfect. So you're going to be turning your food processor on and off quite often, because you've got to scrape down the sides and keep the peanuts around the blades. So you see at first they're kind of crumbly. It just takes a while before they start to look like peanut butter. So just keep blending. It's going to take a while. Be patient. Scrape it down and keep going. And you see that they're following the blades around and not really, cycling through. Just stop your processor and scrape them down. Now here you see it's starting to make a ball. That's a good sign. But you are going to have to stop it and break up that ball. Okay, starting to look like peanut butter, starting to clean together. And you'll see, look, see some of it's looking oily. So the blades are what's breaking up that peanut so fine that it releases the oils. Now at this point it will usually just kind of break down, but you might have to break up that ball once more, and I did. I wish you could smell that. It's so good. Now taste it. Add some salt if you think it needs it. Some of you may not want salt. Some of you may want more than a ½ teaspoon. That's not going to take much longer. We're almost there. Now watch. That's going to break apart. And now it's going to cycle really, really good. At that point, you know you're golden. Just keep going a little bit longer. Now, you can stop at this point. I just like mine to be a little bit smoother than that. So I just go ahead and keep on going for just a little bit longer. There, that's looking really good right there. To see it following along and cycling through and being real smooth, that's good. It will be a tiny bit grainy at this point, but that's how I like the peanut butter. So I've never gone beyond this. See how smooth and creamy that is? Of course, I want to scrape every last bit off the blades. That is a real precious jar of peanut butter. So you see the 2 quarts of peanut butter are going into just 1 pint jar. And it won't quite fit. So I got to do a taste test, you know. That is so good. You just wouldn't believe it. Wow. If you have a garden, make some room for peanuts. They're easy to grow. They take about 4 months to mature. But if you can't grow your own, then go to the store and get raw peanuts. Be sure they don't say roasted in the shell or anything like that. Raw peanuts. And then just proceed like I've shown you here. Be sure your oil is not too hot, but it has to be hot enough. And then keep on blending and keep on blending. I think it takes about a total of 6 minutes. That's all there is to it. Be sure to store it in the refrigerator because you don't want it to spoil. There's no preservatives in it. And the salt that you've added, if you have added salt, is not enough to keep it from spoiling. But I suspect it's going to be eaten up pretty quick. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. I've got a lot more things to share with you.
Great.